these root causes of why American health is plummeting and how environmental factors are causing it.
So now you talked about the Surgeon General switcheroo.
Right.
So Trump just appointed Kaylee Means, Dr. Casey Means, to be our next. Now, we know her because she wrote this best-selling book, Good Energy, with her brother, Callie Means. Callie's been on the show. Right. And they tell you a lot of truths about how corrupt and backwards our healthcare system is. They talk about seed oils. They talk about how they don't talk about real nutrition and medical. Well, here I'll give you 60 seconds of something she said.
You would think that the American healthcare system and our government agencies would be clamoring to fix metabolic health and reduce American suffering and costs, but they're not. They are deafeningly silent about metabolic dysfunction and its known causes. It's not an overstatement to say that I learned virtually nothing at Stanford Medical School about the tens of thousands of scientific papers that elucidate these root causes of why American health is plummeting and how environmental factors are causing it. For instance, in medical school, I did not learn that for each additional serving of ultra-processed food we eat, early mortality increases by 18%. This now makes up 67% of the foods our kids are eating. I took 0 nutrition courses in medical school. I didn't learn that 82% of independently funded studies show harm from processed food, while 93% of industry-sponsored studies reflect no harm. In medical school, I didn't learn that 95% of the people who created the recent USDA food guidelines for America had significant conflicts of interest with the food industry. I did not learn that 1 billion pounds of synthetic pesticides are being sprayed on our food every single year. 99% of the farmland in the United States is sprayed with synthetic pesticides, many from China and Germany. And these invisible, tasteless chemicals.
So it's real easy to get excited about her becoming Surgeon General. But then you hear even someone like Nicole Shanahan, who was Bobby Kennedy's running mate. She says this, it's very strange, doesn't make any sense. I was promised that if I supported RFK in his Senate confirmation that neither of these siblings would be working under, she was promised that neither of them would be working in HSS or in an appointment, and the people much more qualified would be. I don't know if RFK very clearly lied to me or what is going on. It has been clear in recent conversations that he is reporting to someone regularly who is controlling his decisions, and it isn't President Trump. With regards to the siblings, there is something very artificial and aggressive about them, almost like they were bred and raised Manchurian assets. So here's what Mary Taylor Bowden, we all know her, so also another great truth teller and right. About COVID. She says last week RFK told Dr. Kelly Victory she was the new pick to be Surgeon General. I was with her last weekend, and she told me and others. Kelly was passed over because of her outspoken stance against the mRNA shots. Clearly, RFK actually has no power. And here is Dr. Naomi Wolf. She says, in addition to my analysis of one of the gazillion odd characterizing Casey Means a $300 million startup valuation and a #1 New York Times bestseller, she's having never, ever launched a startup or written a book before. Please bear in mind that Secretary Kennedy, that MAHA worked tirelessly to get you and your allies into leadership, and that if there is this much opposition, it's not absurd. It is your base in revolt, and you owe it to your base respectfully to listen and respond accordingly. Our officials work for us. Here's a little bit more. It looks like Trump's advisors are trying to push deep state actors into the Surgeon General's position to keep the whole mRNA plus big tech medicine business viable. MAGA is not keeping its promises to MAHA. So it's an absolute tragedy. She has no active medical license, never finished a residency. She's not even qualified to get hospital privileges in the United States system. Are you kidding me? Is she qualified? Then so is Richard Simmons. So RFK goes on and defends her, right? So he does this long Twitter thread where he defends her. And looking at the myriad of comments on Twitter, the real issue is that Dr. Mary Taylor Bowden stated that Dr. Kelly's victory was the actual choice. And this was confirmed when Mary was with her last weekend. In addition, Nicole Shanahan stated that she was promised, if she backed RFK Jr., that neither one of the means would be anywhere in HHS. So the root of the matter is that people feel betrayed and that they were lied to. And thus far, no one has been given a good explanation for why. That is where the heart of the problem is. So what do you... So
that is not where the heart of the problem is.
What is the heart of the problem?
The heart of the problem is the American people, 325 million people, spend a lot of time and money trying to change people in the boxes, thinking that swinging the boxes back and forth between the either party is going to get us someplace. And that does, that will get us incremental places. But if we want change, we're going to have to fundamentally change, in our daily lives, where we put our time, where we put our money, who we support, how we support. And if tomorrow everybody pulled their money out of the banks that did the mortgage fraud, did the missing money, if everybody pulled their, take every stock that is guilty of murdering kids with pharmaceutical products and all these games, if everyone called their broker and said, something, get all of it out of my portfolio. I want nothing to do with them. If we...
That's what I've actually done that. I've actually done that. Right. I put my money in gold. Go ahead.
If we simply exercised all the powers of shunning, if everybody called up, if you have a university who's doing shenanigans in their endowment, we called them and said, that's it, I'm not supporting it. If we shifted our time and our money, especially the most important thing everybody listening to this can do is completely re-engineer your food, your water, and your preventative health so that you walk away from all these healthcare systems because they're dangerous and they lie. And started to support, doctors like Mary. The world is full of great doctors and great healthcare practitioners who are telling you the truth. Let's support them. So if we want to shift the boxes, voting for somebody in the uniparty or getting somebody appointed, when you're in the box, you're under control. I was in the box. I got fired. I got fired because I refused to break the law. They ordered me to break the law. I refused. I got fired.
So if someone like Mary Talley would actually become in the box, she would also get fired, or she'd have to...
Mary would get fired within 60 days, or she'd be dead, or they'd kill somebody in her family. It would be very dangerous. John F. Kennedy tried to change the model. He got shot.
Come see us live in Los Angeles, Buffalo, Toledo, Montreal, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, London, Liverpool, Birmingham. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.